take a seat. So this panel discussion is becoming a tradition. My first Bitcoin started here, of course, in El Salvador. And while we were teaching on the ground, we open sourced all our resources. That led to a beautiful revolution worldwide with the Node network. Today it consists of 73 projects, 38 countries. And we have 3 of the projects here from Haiti, Paraguay, and from the Dominican Republic. Let's have a little chat about how you bring education to your communities, how My First Bitcoin helps you with that, and maybe also we can inspire all the listeners here to join this revolution as well. But why don't you start with a quick intro?
Hello. Hello, everyone. My name's Giovanni. We have this Yes Bitcoin Haiti on the ground in. We have Yes Bitcoin Haiti on the ground in Haiti. So when we first started out building the education, we have Papush, this leader on the ground. His mother owns a school, so we started teaching the Me Premier Bitcoin in the school. Hello. Okay, I have to hold it like this. So we started teaching Me Premier Bitcoin in Papush's mother's school. So we had this little room, projector, and this the Me Premier education. We translated that into Haitian Creole. And hello. Okay, it's loud. So we translated the program into Haitian Creole, and our first cohort was last year. The students have been receiving. They've been. Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
No worries. Sorry, my mic was on. So maybe if I can give a little bit more context. So yes, Bitcoin ID joined the Node network, I think 1.5 years ago, 1 year ago. Great team on the ground. You're from the US with roots in Haiti, and you taught the diploma, right? Anything to add? Or no, this was the first introduction. Sorry. Bruno, you want to follow with Penguin Group and then Pedro?
Hello, everyone. I'm Bruno from Paraguay. I'm part of Penguin Group. We start with My First Bitcoin this year in Paraguay with a teacher's program, educational program. And I think it was the first on-site teacher's educational program with people from My First Bitcoin from El Salvador. Gabe and Gerardo traveled to Paraguay. We have 23 new teachers on Bitcoin. And then we keep going with this Bitcoin diploma. And also we start using different kinds of workshops. We made wallet workshops. We made online workshops about introduction about Bitcoin. Also home mining workshop. We have another one on next Thursday. And our last cohort was the past week, a week ago, with 21 students. And I found it's very interesting to diversify events to get the people engaged with My First Bitcoin. And at the end of the month, we have a race called Running Bitcoin, obviously. We have maybe 150 people just joined the race. Yeah.
Thank you, Bruno. Pedro?
Hello. Buen día. Good morning. I'm Pedro, founder of Bitcoin Dominicana. I joined Mi Primer Bitcoin at the beginning, thinking it was going to be something very easy for us to gather people to teach them about Bitcoin. And we realized the Dominicans didn't really care about learning. So we had to kind of adapt to a new system where we built a hybrid way where we basically teach Bitcoin in merchants who want to accept us. We'll take coffee for exchange or even a glass of water. So we've been working one-on-one with Dominicans, anyone who practically wants to learn. We build around them. We don't really care for people who don't want to accept us. The school system has rejected us completely. Universities think we're a scam. But regardless, we've found ways to get inside people's minds because we understood that our people, Dominicans, are decentralized by nature. They've already been put aside by their government, by businesses. They're just, another brick in the wall. So in that sense, we've figured out different ways of teaching Bitcoin. So I would consider it kind of like a hybrid process. We use on-site things with merchants, but we also do one-on-ones through video calls. We're kind of like evangelists in that way. We find the opportunity to teach a person about Bitcoin, and we truly understand that seed we're planting there will give fruits that will benefit Dominicans alike, and also give them hope, because I think Bitcoin is the hope at the end of the day. A lot of people don't even have an inch in the ground to die in, and then lastly, even a person to cry for them. So we try to really connect with people however it is we can, and we've committed a lot of mistakes in the process, trying to go over our head, giving people stuff, offering them hopes and stuff like that. But in the end of the day, we just kind of filtered out. So whoever wants to join this process, they're in for a ride, because we're going to be very sticky with them. And we've understood this worked, and we've also understood how a lot of people are left aside, at least in our countries. The tourism industry, most of the people working in it don't even, the least they receive is tips from tourists. You got all this money leaving the country. So we're trying to see where it is that people really need us to be the most in. So if we got to go to the ghetto, even if it's dangerous, we'll go to the ghetto. If we have to talk to high-end people, we'll talk to high-end people, because I've never seen a man eating another man. So we're basically traveling around the country and building the proper infrastructure, and we're not scared. So we're also building the Dominican Bitcoin Association to go head-to-head with government, companies, and inspire a little bit more trust, because this is going to go ahead whether they like it or not. So I'm Pedro.
This is like, we will get this somehow. Thank you guys for the introduction. It's like I said in the introduction. Like I said in the introduction, here we are. My apologies for this. We're trying to shift away, as my first Bitcoin, from being the educators to educating the educators, the training program you already referred to it, Bruno, and empowering others that empower others. All of you are part of the Node Network. You're teaching the Bitcoin diploma. You're using our resources. But before that, before you join the Node Network, it's a very simple statement, basically. Everyone has to sign an MOU that your education is Bitcoin only, independent, impartial, community-led. It's focusing on quality education and on empowerment over profit. So we're not teaching trading. Everyone can join, including all of you. And then we try to help you get started. And I know all of you are involved in the Node Network in different ways, ETP, and also like in getting started with your first cohorts. And speaking of which, can you maybe explain a bit about the challenges that you faced in Haiti to really get started with your very first cohort? Because it's not been like an easy start.
Okay, so one of our challenges was internet issue. The way we really overcame that was basically Starlink. So we were able to get Starlink, and we got a projector, opened up the laptop, and was able to start really just teaching everyone who wanted to learn about it. And another challenge was like a lot of the Haitians thought Bitcoin's like a scam, because there's been other similar things that were brought to them, and they just got scammed. So they were very weary, and they still are very weary. So, that's.
And for you, Bruno, like you mentioned the ETP, which just announced by Gabe. Can you explain a bit more how this was implemented into Paraguay and how it's like spreading education in your project?
Yes, that's a very nice part because we start teaching teachers how to teach about Bitcoin, and now in the last cohort we have 7 different teachers that have started as volunteers, as alumni from our first workshop, and the idea is to decentralize from my organization these Bitcoin workshops or Bitcoin cohorts, Bitcoin diploma cohorts in different parts of my country. And I think it's the very way is still having more engage or more strength in educators programs, because the educators are not only in our Bitcoin diploma, they are in schools, in universities, and they can spread the word. And as I said, I think one of the best things to do is to diversify into Bitcoin only, but different offers, like as I said, the mining workshop, Wallet's workshop, different things. We have one workshop also with BitDevs talking about the coding behind Bitcoin. I think it's amazing because you get more engaged with the brand with My First Bitcoin.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. So what we also try to do with My First Bitcoin is like tools to teach the teachers, resources to teach your cohorts. But we also try to bring educators together. We do that once a month in a general assembly, so we can share best practices, learn from each other, share our challenges as well. Maybe Pedro, can you a little bit explain about your experiences with the GA and how you, what your thoughts are on this part?
Yeah. For us, the GA has been a very good tool in the sense that it's able to bring in different educators from the network, but also the chance to be able to express a lot of different topics that I think people can relate to. Because in this industry, sometimes you might feel a little bit alone, especially when you come from places like me, from Dominican Republic, we're just an island in the Caribbean. From Haiti and a whole bunch of other countries, you don't really find people you can relate to and kind of exteriorize issues that might be coming up. For example, in our case, the people just don't want to study, they want to do other kind of things. At least with the tools that we've been getting there, it helps us lead people in the right direction, at least with these tools. So whether it is they want to flow under their own terms, at least they have the proper tools, and I think it's our responsibility to offer the people the right direction, because sometimes education doesn't happen in a center. Education happens at home, so if there's a particular person who wants to take this material and kind of produce it in his own way, it's also very positive, because it goes back to the essence of Bitcoin being decentralized. Kind of like the Bible, I would say, but with Mi Primer Bitcoin book.
Thanks, Pedro. So we talked a bit about educator training program to get started, the resources like the diploma, Starlink, internet, etc. My next question would be, how do you find your students? Because this is a very big, difficult topic for a lot of educators that we hear in the GAs, and I think all of you have different approaches in finding your students. You want to kick it off, and then Bruno and Pedro?
Funding students?
Finding your students.
Oh, okay, so finding our students, what Val does, he goes on the radio, he starts promoting what we're doing, free education, and just, there's really no specific student that we have. We accept old, young. I've seen babies trying, toddlers learning and reading books. But yeah, we just promote it on radio shows and just around the community, and just whoever's open to learning and coming, we're free to learn.
Yes, I host a TV show in cable in Boomer Technology every weekend in the normal TV, in a normal TV channel. It's not YouTube, it's not streaming, in the old-fashioned TV, and it appears twice a week, Saturdays and Sundays, and it's quite viewed for the people, and it's very easy to have people joining our offers, our workshops, our Bitcoin diploma. But I also use technology. Luma, like an event platform, there has programs for free also. And I think social media, we always ask our students when they discover about the workshop. 84% goes through Instagram. I think if you have $10 to put in some ad, just put on Instagram. It's not X. It's 84% Instagram, 12% TV, and the other one is the other social media. I think Instagram is still a good ally for us.
Right, and I think that's what we're learning at My First Bitcoin as well, is that the audience is not on Twitter and Nostr. Like, we need to find the students where they are, which is not in the echo chamber yet. Thank you for that. Pedro, how is that for you with your students and your community?
For us, we've taken an approach similar to products of mass consumption. Like you would buy the dishwasher liquid in stores and stuff like that. Basically, these people are doing advertising everywhere at the same time. In case they go to like the supermarket, they get the top of mind of this product. Just that we don't do it directly with Bitcoin education. We target issues that hurt people's most sensitive organ in their body, which is not their heart, it's their pockets. So we found ways to kind of generate buzz through these kind of things. For us also, Instagram and Facebook are great tools, but simply advertising Bitcoin has not worked. But putting our finger into the cut of people, making them see that they're not where they should be in life, not because it's necessarily their fault. So we use a little bit of reverse psychology in the way we communicate things. So then you get people coming up to us through these funnels we do online. So we have a lot of forums. And what we've also done is that the topics we've exposed, for example, on TV, that we always try to be a little bit controversial. So we get traditional TV channels to want to come talk to us. They want to break us, but it's not possible. So we take this exactly, and we start building on top of that. Because my peoples are like little skeletons. And the system is like the dogs eating them out of bowls. So we kind of tapped into that, created the right forums online so people fill them up without really talking about benefits, just to get the sense of urgency. Because if people don't come work with us and start talking, inflation is going to liquidate them. And they're just going to be another statistics. And I don't have to tell no lie. It's just a matter of about right placement, timing, and consistency. And before you know it, the need within people is the one that brings them to us. And then after that, we have all the necessary tools. And we don't only talk about topics and leave them to go with the wind. We also try to always have support material in our blog and our website. So what we're talking about isn't only a spur of the moment, but we really want to use these topics as steps for people to reach the destination within Bitcoin that best fits them.
Awesome, thanks for sharing that. So we got all the tools, we got the training program, we got the network, you got your students. And the next big thing that is a big challenge for a lot of educators, and like we have 3 of them here, but the network we have 73 in total, is consistency. You want to go from, I think, 2 cohorts now in Haiti, you had a couple as well, to like sustain your educational project. And if we want to be doing independent education, that's even more difficult. So how do you look at this part of your projects where you have to fund your educational efforts as well in a sustainable way, and how you're doing that right now?
Well, we get our funding through OpenSats, Bitcoin Beach, and Geyser, and we get donations from all these organizations and even laptops, miners, and we just ship them out to Haiti. But the funding part, yes.
It's all grassroots?
Yes, us mostly grassroots. We don't really have like big like huge organizations, so and corporations. So
Okay, in my perspective about Bitcoin adoption, we need to do all the events or the workshops for free for the people, because we have this ghost pursuing us as Bitcoin is a scam and things like that. And all our workshops are for free, and we need money to do that workshops because of the materials, the place, to grab a beer, some pizzas. And it's very, very, very interesting to have a partner in the country, but makes you impartial. I'm collateralizing Bitcoin to do some workshops. You know, my business is putting some money in these activities, but yes, I'm the funding. I am the funding today, but the idea is next year talking with all the people in the industry in Paraguay, in the mining industry in my case, to put a little money every month. That's the reason we didn't do more things this year, because it's kind of now Gabe, it's living in Paraguay. He helped me in the last cohort. It was awesome because he takes all the responsibility on their shoulders. But before that was a one-man army, and it's very difficult when you are quite alone with no money and with a lot of opportunities. But yeah, we are figuring out, and I think this was a great year, and next year for me I'm expecting about my first Bitcoin in Paraguay for the next year.
Okay, so I'm going to touch on the funding part for us. Dominican Republic is a country that offers great tourism. Caribbean is very fun, and we've created a strategy where we invite people or people who are already there and have Bitcoin to be part of the history of the Dominican Republic. And in this new chapter, you could easily be part of it simply donating through our social media platforms. Or it could be on Geyser Fund, or it could be through Nostr, through the kind of posts we have. And we've started creating closeness with these people who are helping us out. Since we have had so many issues like getting schools, or nobody wants to do an event in a co-working, it's boring, and all this kind of stuff, we've brought down costs through what we do with merchants. So instead of us planning ahead of time or giving classes, we go to these businesses and we just get everybody who works there, their daughters, cousins, parking people, whatever. We sit them down, we start giving them the classes, and then the numbers don't lie. So we see the amount of people downloading the wallets. We don't see the amount of transactions or anything like that. We start seeing the movement of these merchants, that first they start receiving people in the community who go purchase in sets. But then with time, they start receiving other people that have nothing to do with us. So obviously you need on and off. These people receive the Bitcoin, but then they need liquidity to do other kind of things. Dominican Republic doesn't offer that. So we partnered up with other businesses and people who are willing to buy the Bitcoin from these merchants. And we generate a commission through them, which has helped us keep consistent. And instead of us worrying about when we're going to do the next meetup and how we're going to do it, we just show up in these businesses who allow us. And we kind of establish ourselves in those neighborhoods till we not only orange pill those businesses to start accepting Bitcoin and training the people around them, but then we start working in other businesses around there to see if just casually they can start interacting one with the other regarding things they might need to get the circular economy going. And that's the way we've been doing it. It's not really a matter of spending, but for us, the fact that we had nothing to come and get this going with, to then seeing how these stats have flown, it's become kind of like a little lottery. So we want to keep doing more, and all of a sudden, from under a rock, you get some dude that pops up, and they help you out with something. You need to be creative, like I said at the beginning. Dominican are decentralized by nature. These people are preparing their own medication for a cold in their house. So Bitcoin makes sense. They don't have garbage trucks to go pick up the garbage every day. So you gotta either burn it, recycle it, sell it. I don't know, but Bitcoin makes sense. So we just go with that same approach and keep orange pilling. And like they say, God provides. And definitely Bitcoiners do too. And thanks Bitcoin Beach, you guys are fun. Paystand also has helped us, and a whole bunch of other companies and a lot of anonymous donators that are doing it, passing it forward, and we've basically done the same whenever we have had the opportunity. As long as they don't charge for faith, everything is going to be all right.
Awesome. Yeah, this is how it should be. Independent education, support from the community. Thanks, Pedro. So I think we covered a lot of topics now: the curricula, training program, the social layer, the challenges, finding your student, funding. Maybe one of you, some closing words to all the listeners that maybe you want to start teaching as well. What is your elevator pitch? Why should these people that here become a node? Why should they start teaching the Bitcoin diploma? Any of you?
Well, I'll say something. If you're not sure whether you want to start teaching or not, look around you and see if the people in your community, family members, friends, they might need this more than they think. So you're not wasting your time teaching them. You're giving them the tools not to fall back behind on what's going on. And if you're scared, do it. And if you don't want to do it, do it. And don't worry about anything.
What's great about the Node Network is like it's open source, so we're able to just collaborate and just see what ideas other communities are doing, and we're able to either implement it, see if it works for us or it doesn't work for us. But open source is a big deal. So
I think we need to open source everything. I really appreciate that Bitcoin has the opportunity to liberate the people, liberate the oppressed, liberate the people who has no opportunities through the government, through their countries. And Bitcoin democratized all that progress because you didn't need to ask permission to get into Bitcoin, to run a node, to have your wallet, and to get wealthiest for your family. And I think that's kind of revolution. It's what Latin America, especially my country, needs, and all the world needs more rebellion against a system that has us oppressed. And that's all. It's about freedom.
Open source everything, freedom. I think there is no excuse left to not start teaching. We have the tools, we have the network, we have the connections today. Thank you guys, Di Giovanni, Bruno, and Pedro, for sharing your testimonies about being a node in a node network, teaching the Bitcoin diploma, and spreading the movement that started here in El Salvador to Haiti, Paraguay, and Dominican Republic. Thanks, everyone. Come talk to me if you want to join the node network, if you want to copy what they're doing, what we're doing. We're here to collaborate and give away instead of take and sell our products. So thanks once again, and thank you.